the potential of this team and the Aces meeting in the finals, but today seemed to have a lot of finals energy. I wonder from your perspective what it felt like out there.
Yeah, we knew what this game meant going into it, kind of a separation game for the teams at the top. So we were trying to bring that kind of playoff intensity and energy. Didn't have the best start, but our bench came in and really helped us out in the second quarter.
And then defensively, they're obviously the top team in the league, and it seemed like you guys really rose to meet them at that level. How would you describe the battle out there defensively?
Yeah, it was tough. Obviously, they're a really good team. They have, great scores. So I think we did a decent job defensively, and we were a little bit slower on offense than normal, but, whatever it takes to get the win.
For either of you, was the game plan going was the game plan going in today to limit them in transition? Because this is one of the better teams when it comes to fast break points per game, and it really did seem like you all were getting in the way of them finishing at the rim while also limiting them on the perimeter. Was that a focal point heading into today?
Go ahead. Yeah, I think we definitely know they're good in transition, especially Jewel and Stewie just getting out and spotting up for three. So we really wanted to stay 5-on-5 as much as possible. So, whoever it is in transition, just pick them up, communicate. And I think we did a decent job of that.
And the front court also, with the way that they were able to limit Breanna Stewart for the first three quarters. What can you just say about like the connectivity that they have on in the front court right now?
Yeah, we were just locked in on the schemes. She sets a lot of pick and rolls, and she's a really good spacer. So it was just having, a big attention to her, when she's not in the pick and roll, and when she is, just making sure we fight through the screen so the post don't have to help so much, or, if they get hit, we switch. So I think it was a really good job just communicating.
Ladies, can you put in perspective what it means to have 20 wins at this point?
How does it feel to have 20 wins? Like, what does it mean?
That's amazing. I think we need to keep pushing, and we need to play every game like it's just a game and we have to win. And when we think about it, that's great, but we don't have to focus on that too. Like, we just have to think about the next game and try to win all the time. That's our goal, like to be first at the end of the day, and just keep pushing.
You have some tough games coming up because you get back-to-back this weekend. How important is a game like this today to get it, knowing what's coming up ahead?
Yeah, it's big to have a win like this at home, just knowing that we have 3 games and 5 or 6 days coming up, especially against one of the top teams. So anytime we can win, like Julie said, we're just happy to get the win and move on to the next one.
Steven in the front. All right, for Allie. So you do a good job in general, kind of inversely thinking about the game as an off-ball mover and shooter off movement, inversely thinking about it defensively, and you guys did a good job containing that off-ball movement today. So can you just talk about how well you guys are collectively between you, Kyle, Rebecca, and then of course Julie, and stopping off-ball movement and action defensively?
Yeah, we talk about it all the time for our specific actions, different ways that we could cut backdoor or just move for each other. It's all of our styles to kind of play off of each other and make the game easier. None of us really want to go one-on-one. So I think, we do a great job of just talking about how we can play best together. And then, on defense, we know they kind of play similar to us. So our goal was just to make them play 5-on-5 and not, overhelp too much, kind of turn them into a one-on-one team. So that's what we were trying to do.
And then for Julie, so this is your second game in the starting lineup with this team. Of course, you're not new to starting at point guard, but can you talk about how different it is playing with so many different options and weapons in that starting lineup, and how much of less stress it has for you usage-wise as a starting point guard?
I don't try to think too much. I just want to do what I can. I just want to do what I can and try to be. I won't be slewed, but I just want to be try to lead the team, try to help the team to be organized, and try to do my best to help them on the court. And then it's sure it's different when you can play like with everybody. But I'm just trying to help them.
A question for both of you guys. In regards to the question that Steven had about off the ball movement, everyone talks about Kai and how she's able to do that. But can you talk about the importance of Rebecca and how she can actually replicate exactly what Kai's doing out there on the court?
Yeah, I think we saw an action today where she cut back door, and we kind of talked about it beforehand. Like, let's do that thing without giving away too much information. She was like, yeah, how COD does it. So it's like we're constantly communicating, and I think she's a veteran, obviously, in this league and this basketball world, so she knows how to pick up on things quick, and I think she's really just gelling into our style perfectly.
Have you guys heard from Sloot? I know after the Dallas game, halftime, she was texting James. So any message from her that you guys have received?
Yeah, she just said, "You guys are so good," and then we FaceTimed her, and we were talking to her in the locker room a little bit.
Okay, cool.
Any more questions for players? Awesome. Go, Mike, last one, and then we'll.
Sorry. So Ali, I was just wondering, you look at this team and the coachable players that are there and this coach mindset that many of them have. You look at Tina, Sue, and Brianna. Does that kind of change the mindset defensively when you know there's so many players that on the whim can kind of just create their own plays?
Yeah, obviously those three are a big three. They've had so much success in the league, and they're still on the top of their game. So, we know whenever we play them, we have to be on top of ours defensively. So, yeah, it's just being locked in on our schemes and playing together on defense.
Thanks, players.
All right, we'll go with Annie first.
Hey, James, what conversation did you have with Emma ahead of this game just about your, not expectation, but what you wanted to see out of her today, both defensively and offensively, and what were you pleased with in what she did today?
I wanted her to be aggressive for one. And look at the basket. She's a team player, so she's going to always look to make the right play. But sometimes making the right play is just her being aggressive. And so I think maybe first couple of plays she wasn't in. I just, in my nice, calm, monotone voice, told her to look at the basket.
Noel's team is the top defensive team in the league, and you guys really matched that energy today. Going into the game, was that something you preached to your team, or when they got here, they just knew what the assignment was?
I mean, we have a game plan, and we talked about it. We prepared for them. We knew that they were going to throw some defenses at us and different looks, and so for us, it was about taking care of the ball and not turning it over. And I thought we did a better job of it in the second half. I think we only had 5 turnovers in the second half, and I felt like if we didn't turn over the ball, we could get good shots. And I felt like we got good shots. It was just about us at that point.
Is there anything more satisfying about this win because it's the 20th? It also came against, again, the top defensive team in the league. It was a game that really showed the depth of this team once again. Is there anything, more satisfying about today's win?
More satisfying? I mean, it's the fact that it was today. That's satisfying. And I thought we executed well. And I thought, we held them to 42%. Didn't put them to the foul line a whole lot. And Stewie had a good game, but I thought for the most part we made it tough for her. She's a great player, and she's going to get these games, in her sleep. But I thought we made it, our length and our athleticism made it tough for her, and she and I felt like they had to work a little bit more to get shots, and we had to work too. But I thought we got good shots.
Coach, I mean, Brianna had 13 points in the fourth quarter, something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
Do you feel like if you're able to hold her for 3 quarters like that the defense has done its job at least in the front court?
I mean, I thought we did our job. I just felt like she's a great player, but I thought we had our spots where we didn't execute what we wanted. But it's hard, especially when you have someone that long, that talented, and she's that great of a catch and shoot player. She catches you slipping, and she's going to take advantage of it. And she caught us slipping a couple of times, but for the most part, I thought we were locked in, and we just had to take our time to be refocused in the fourth quarter. And I thought we did a good job of it.
I mean, Jewel Lloyd is also one of the best players in transition and getting out in the fast break. I mean, was it a point of emphasis today to limit Seattle in general in transition? Because it seems like you did a great job today with that.
Yeah, of course. They're an explosive transition team. Like, we had to be on our front foot a lot earlier than against other teams because they like to get the ball across the floor and, walk in the threes. And so that was a concentrated effort on our part to not let them walk in the threes. But they got threes in other ways, and we just have to clean that stuff up.
How you doing, Coach?
Thanks.
So you spoke to the level of execution that you were pleased with from your team today.
Mhm.
When you said execution, I thought about the defense specifically.
Mhm.
In terms of playing against Seattle, it's kind of like a mirror because they move the ball well, and they have a lot of off-ball movers and cutters and things like that. And you're switching off the ball, and then the directing of traffic from your front court pieces was on point as well. So can you just talk to how pleased in general you are with the defense as a whole?
I mean, I was pleased because I felt like we stagnated them a little bit, and we wanted to be early in a lot of situations where we know that they like to play. But sometimes they miss some shots that they could have made, and sometimes we forced them into bad shots. I don't want to take anything away from our defense, but you know, those are the things that we say, okay, we can clean up, we can get better at. Because I thought we played a really good defensive game, but I still think we have a lot of space left for improvement. So I think, you know, we'll look at the film and digest it for the next time we play them, and we'll see how we can even clean those things up. But I'm proud of what we did today defensively. I thought they took it very seriously, and now, you know, we've qualified for the playoffs. So now it's just on to the next game.
And then speaking to the team effort that you guys got, so your bench, I know it's not everybody's cup of tea looking at plus and minus because it can get a little slippery in there.
Yeah.
But when the discrepancy is so obvious as it was today, looking at Azare, Dana, and Z, can you just talk about how much of a foundation they have for your team?
No, it was really important because you could just see in the period score, when they were in the second quarter, they kind of helped us separate a little bit where we were. I thought we started off on our heels, and then when they came in, they kind of started off in an aggressive mindset, and we were able to catch up and tie the first quarter and separate a little bit in the second quarter. And that was the difference in the game. When you talk about plus and minuses, it reflects it directly. Tied the first quarter scoring with them, tied the third quarter, tied the fourth quarter. But those valuable minutes that they gave us at the beginning of the second quarter where they separated were really important in finishing off the game. So we talked about it in the locker room, how important they were and the minutes that they gave and the energy that they came. You know, it was really helpful for us today.
Hey, Coach, could you talk to us about the counters that you guys made to the off-the-ball pressure that you guys got from the Storm today?
I could, but no. You know, we're a team that likes to move the ball, so we feel like if you put a lot of pressure on us, we're just gonna go the other way. And we, you know, you have to have pressure releases, so that means you have to deny people all over the floor, especially if you have 5 people that can pass the ball. And you just have to cut off the ball and just be aggressive in how you come to it. We take pride in coming to the ball. We take pride in moving off the ball. And it's really not about getting shots for us. It's about what kind of shots we get. And so we know in order to get those type of shots, if a team is going to be aggressive, we have to actually go the other way. Yeah.
James, I just wanted to ask you about the beginning of the game again.
Mhm.
I believe that you guys started with 5 turnovers in the first 5 minutes, but like you mentioned,
that was horrible.
Only 7 for the rest of the game.
Right.
Can you talk about what you saw from your team that helped them turn it around and really get a grasp of the game that they didn't let go of?
I felt like, you know, we started off. I don't know if it's the morning or we needed some Starbucks or something.
Understandable.
Some Garrett's popcorn. But I just felt like we weren't present at the beginning, right at the beginning, and we had to get kind of hit in the face a little bit for us to wake up. And when you're not in it and you have a team that defensive pressure is so, you know, present that it puts you on your heels, it kind of makes you less aggressive. And I just felt like, and that was, you know, the second group kind of helping us to get aggressive and being ready. So it was all about just not knowing what to expect and trying to feel the game out. And once we felt it out, I felt like we were who we needed to be.
Okay, and just one more to piggyback on your 20th win of the season. I know this is the team that has championship credentials. Last season, though, the record was a bit different going into the playoffs. How do you preach keeping your foot on the gas to your squad?
It's a mindset, and we know what the end game. We know the feeling of the end game, and so we don't even have to talk about it because we know the feeling. And I trust. It's a lot of trust in the locker room with everybody. There's a lot of trust in the organization. We know what the feeling is like. I know what they want. They know what we want, and so, you know, it's on all of us to do what we have to do to make sure that happens. And so it's a motivated bunch. It's a motivated group, and they're just going to keep on doing what they have to do to get to the end game.
Thanks, James.
All right. All right.